Happy New Year, everyone, and hope you had a great investing year in 2024. At least as good as mine, if not hopefully much better. So, great to have you back to the monthly portfolio update. I hope you'll find the information in this video useful, but disclaimer, please note that this is not investing advice. It's just my portfolio as it stands on Wednesday, January 1st, and it can change at any time without previous notification. Following an investment strategy without doing the work yourself is almost guaranteed to result in losses. So please be careful since it's your responsibility to do your own research before investing. With that out of the way, today we'll check out the third ever yearly portfolio performance review and see if all the things that we talk about also make money, not just, hopefully, sense. We'll see how the pyramid portfolio fared measured against some relevant benchmarks in the past year, 2024, and we'll also take a look at the best and worst investments of the year. But let's not get ahead of ourselves too much and begin as usual with the latest month portfolio activity. December was also quite a busy month. I continued dollar cost averaging in Romanian stocks similar to last month on the back of the Romanian election, which, by the way, the second round of presidential elections was cancelled, triggering a positive price explosion in the market. Before that, I added to my position in the Romanian Stock Exchange, Aquila de Neagra, Simtel, TTS, Nuclear Electrica, and the Romanian stock market main index, the BET. I also re-added to the watchlist Transgas, which I exited previous this year, because the price dropped under my average selling price. We'll wait for the new election in early 2025. I expect some volatility until then as well, because there is also an eventual increase in taxes since the deficit was pretty big in 2024, and also the political uncertainty is not helping. I also added this month to my Fidelis government bonds position because one expired, and due to the election debacle, the coupon was a bit higher than anticipated. And finally, I added to my altcoin position a little bit in case altcoin season springs into effect if when BTC moves sideways. In terms of cash flow, I got 4 of my Fidelis coupons as well as one principal paid back this month. The last quarterly S&P 500 dividend for Q4 2024 did not arrive until January 1st but should come in the next couple of days. That being said, the portfolio as of January 1st, 2025 is looking like this. Please pause the video if you want to analyze each investment in detail. I mostly added to the many Romanian positions mentioned previously and just a little bit of crypto. The rest is just normal market fluctuation. Starting this year, I will remove the small positions, let's say everything under 0.25%, since the list is getting too big if I put every asset that I add on my watch list in the Excel sheet. I will still mention everything I buy and sell in the new purchase section, just remove it from the Excel or maybe group it together somehow in segments like US tech, green energy, gambling, etc. for you to get the idea, but remove the somewhat irrelevant individual tickers. The current approach actually hinders a bit my invest and then investigate watchlist approach just because the portfolio gets bloated with entries that don't really move the needle. And because of their small size, at the end of the day, they are irrelevant to the portfolio performance no matter how well or bad they perform. That being said, the current pyramid allocation portfolio looks something like this. Overall, the portfolio was up 0.21 for the month and closed the year with a cool 10% without expenses, which were around 2% of my portfolio. I actually reached a few important milestones this year. First, I got the first outside money. Second, I broke an AUM milestone, which is assets under management. And third, it was the first time that I made more money than I did as an employee. I was also hoping for a number 4, meaning to make more money than I asked for when I left my day job. But with the Santa rally being cancelled this year and the Romanian political problems, that was not the case. Well, there is always next year, right? Before going to the next section, if you are following us, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps bringing this completely free information to more and more people. As mentioned at the beginning, in today's bonus section, we will talk about the pyramid portfolio performance in 2024 and the top 3 best and worst investments, as well as the 3 lessons learned this year. If you're not growing as an investor, you're dying. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As mentioned, my total return was 10% for the year, which is below the S&P 500 but above the Romanian stock market index, the BET. Now, it depends how you calculate the returns, since part of my portfolio is not yielding immediate returns like my real estate and a significant cash position for living expenses and a rainy day fund. If we exclude those two, the return for the year was actually 22.5%. Still lower than the S&P 500, but not by much. Overall, the portfolio, I think it performed well this year. Some notes on the data you see here. First, related to inflation, it is the most recent one as reported by the authorities in December for the month of November. So it might change this month, but hopefully not significantly, and it could also be adjusted up or down later in the year. Also, short-term bond returns depend on maturity, moment of purchase, etc. And they can be higher or lower, but I think that the numbers represent a correct picture of most investors' return in these bonds. Their purpose, even though they're not the exact number, is to see how the portfolio performed comparatively. Now, let's dig in the worst investment of the year. First, Alibaba is opening the list for the second year running. It actually grew about 10% this year, but is still under my purchase price. Fortunately, its sibling, Tencent, both two Prosus, actually did pretty well, so my overall China diversification exposure this year was not that bad. But still, Baba was far from a winner. Number 2 is Aroc Transilvania Software, a Romanian software company that makes acquisitions, which on paper is everything I wanted, and just didn't perform well, while at the same time diluting its shareholders. The allocation is not big in my portfolio, 0.1%, but it's just not a good investment. And number 3, again this year I have a worst investment that is actually not in my portfolio, and that is MicroStrategy. I was having it on my extended watch list, and when the news came out that their Bitcoin reserves were above their market cap, I did a very thorough analysis and decided not to invest. Because actually they had debt, and market cap plus debt was actually relatively equal to Bitcoin reserves at the time. Well, since then, it actually multiplies 6 times. Now, let's shift gears and see the top 3 best investments of 2024. Now, 24 was clearly the year of crypto, so that is by far the best investment of the year. There's so much to say here, just, crypto is now much larger slice of the portfolio pie that also grew significantly. So, nice. The second best investment is gold, which grew about 27% in 2024 and interestingly was one of the worst performers last year. But inflation is real and sticky, and I'm still bullish on gold this year. And last but not least, we have a sector, the US tech sector, which I own Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Shopify, and Tesla. It performed excellent and actually drove most of the S&P 500 returns this year. You might notice from the tone that I'm actually happy about my portfolio and how it performed this year. And from the mistakes and wins, here are the top 3 lessons I learned in 2024. First, expect to be wrong on some ideas. Not all of your ideas will be winners, but what's important is you continue to learn and grow as an investor. And of course, as Buffett said, rule number 1, don't lose money, and rule number 2, see rule number 1. The next lesson is that action is crucial. Stanley Druckenmiller invest and then investigate strategy while still having an investment punch card, about 20 investment you bet on in your lifetime. Actually, don't get caught up in finding the perfect investment. It doesn't exist. If something is cheaper than its quote unquote intrinsic value, there is a hopefully temporary reason for that. Avoid paralysis by analysis. And last but not least, the third lesson is that volatility is usually the time to take action, and models work until they don't. This translates to nobody really knows anything. Not you, not me, not Warren Buffett. We're all just some big kids trying to figure things out. Let me know if you like or actually use any of these lessons. Related to my expectations for 2025 and beyond, I discussed this in the previous video, 2025 macro trends. So if you are interested in that, check it out. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next month, and let's have a great investing year this year. Bye bye.